Paul John Knowles was born on April 25, 1946 in Orlando, Florida, into a life shaped by poverty, instability, and a childhood spent inside juvenile institutions. He grew up under state supervision more than family care, drifting in and out of reform schools before graduating to adult prisons. By his early 20s, he was a seasoned inmate, intelligent but manipulative, someone who learned to charm people as easily as he learned to hurt them. That charm is what later earned him the nickname the Casanova Killer, a label born not from romance, but from the uncanny way he could charm strangers, especially women, into trusting him seconds before he turned violent. In 1974, while locked in Rayford Prison for kidnapping, he began exchanging letters with a San Francisco divorcee named Angela Kovic through a prison pen pal program. She believed she could save him, even paying for his legal help. When he was paroled, he moved in with her, but when she met him outside prison walls, something unsettled her. She abruptly ended the engagement. Some say because a psychic warned her. Others say because she felt an inexplicable fear. Knowles later insisted that moment of rejection set him off. He returned to Jacksonville, got arrested in a bar fight, and was thrown into the city jail. On July 26, 1974, he picked the lock on his cell door and walked out into the night. That escape marked the beginning of a 4-month killing spree across the United States that would leave at least 18 people dead and possibly over 30. His first known victim after the escape was 65-year-old Alice Curtis. He broke into her Jacksonville home, gagged her to silence her while he robbed the place, and she suffocated on the gag. He stole her car. Days later, he murdered 49-year-old Marjorie Howie by strangulation. In Georgia, he forced his way into the home of 24-year-old Kathy Sue Pierce, strangling her but leaving her toddler alive. Knowles then crossed the country, killing without pattern or predictability. In Ohio, he befriended and later strangled 32-year-old businessman William Bates after drinking with him in a bar. He dumped the body and stole Bates' car. In Nevada, at a campground near Ely, he tied up and murdered retired couple Emmett and Lois Johnson. In Texas, he raped and strangled 42-year-old Ebon Hicks. He traveled with 49-year-old Ann Jean Dawson, who paid for their lodging before disappearing. Knowles later confessed to killing her. Her remains were discovered years after he died. One of his most disturbing crimes occurred in Marlborough, Connecticut on October 16, 1974. 16-year-old Dawn Wine was home doing homework when Knowles forced his way into the house with a sawed-off shotgun. He assaulted her, then waited until her mother, 35-year-old nurse Karen Wine, returned home. He sat at the table with them, calmly talking, before binding and strangling both women with nylon stockings. He left with a tape recorder. Back in Georgia, he shot and killed 53-year-old Doris Hosey using her husband's rifle. Days later, he murdered 45-year-old Carswell Carr and then strangled Carr's 15-year-old daughter Amanda Beth. That double murder triggered an intense statewide manhunt. Despite the violence, his charm never left him. In Atlanta, he met British journalist Sandy Fox at a bar. She later said he looked like a movie star, handsome, confident, flirtatious. They drank together for days, traveling and sharing a bed. She survived only because he chose to move on without harming her. Shortly afterward, he abducted a woman named Barbara Abell in West Palm Beach. He raped her, forced her to drive with him, and then unexpectedly released her. She later wrote a book about surviving the encounter. By mid-November, Knowles became reckless and openly violent. On November 16, 1974, Florida Highway Patrol Trooper Charles Eugene Campbell stopped a stolen car Knowles was driving. Knowles overpowered him, stole his gun, and took him hostage. Then he used the patrol car's flashing lights to stop 29-year-old motorist James Meyer and took him hostage as well. He drove both men into rural Georgia, handcuffed them to a tree in the woods, and executed them. A massive manhunt formed overnight, involving multiple states. The next morning he crashed through a Georgia roadblock, got into a shootout, wounded his foot, and fled into nearby woods on foot. He didn't make it far. The encounter with David Clark happened just outside McDonough, Georgia. Clark, a 27-year-old Vietnam veteran and car dealer, was driving onto his own property when he saw a limping, mud-covered stranger, Knowles, emerging from the woods near his driveway. Knowles approached Clark's parked vehicle and attempted to take it. Clark drew his shotgun and ordered him to stop. Knowles raised his hands. Clark held him at gunpoint in the yard until law enforcement arrived minutes later. After his capture, Knowles confessed to numerous murders across Florida, Georgia, Ohio, Nevada, Texas, Alabama, and Connecticut. He claimed as many as 35 victims. Detectives could firmly connect him to at least 18. His life ended less than a month later. On December 18, 1974, Georgia Bureau of Investigation agent Ronnie Angel and Douglas County Sheriff Earl Lee were transporting him along Interstate 20 to locate one of the hidden weapons Knowles said he had discarded. He was handcuffed in the back seat, but not restrained to the car. During the drive, he lunged forward and grabbed for Sheriff Lee's gun. A struggle erupted in the cramped back seat. Agent Angel drew his revolver and fired 3 times into Knowles' chest. Paul John Knowles died instantly. The spree that began with a picked lock in a Jacksonville jail ended with gunfire in the back seat of a moving patrol car, a final violent moment in a life defined by charm, manipulation, rage, and destruction. The true number of his victims may never be known.